game of the week is
Phelios
by Namco. Phelios is a 1989 vertical scrolling shooter video game released for the Namco System 2 arcade platform in Japan. A Sega Mega Drive port was released in 1990. The game features a plot loosely based on Greek mythology. The player takes control of Apollo, who is mounted upon the back of his winged horse Pegasus. Pressing the firing button makes his sword fire a tiny shot. While holding it down, charges the sword up, and upon releasing the button, the sword shoots a bigger fireball. Even the smallest enemies take multiple hits. So the standard shot is of little use. Each of the game's 7 stages is divided into between 2 and 4 sections. At the end of every stage, Apollo must also defeat a boss character from Greek myth. Once the boss is destroyed, he will proceed to the enchanted mirror at the back of the boss character temple before the game surges into the next stage. Apollo can take up to 4 hits before dying, indicated by the playing card's hearts at the bottom of the screen and determined by how the cabinet is set, but will die instantly if he flies into a wall or touches a boss's head. This game also features voice samples in Japanese for the original arcade and Japanese Mega Drive versions, but in English for the North American Genesis and European Mega Drive versions. If the ranked selection option in arcade versions option menu has been set to on, players will also be able to select an easy or hard game mode once they have inserted their coin. But the easy mode only features the first 4 stages and does not feature the game's complete ending sequence as a result of it. The player takes control of Knight Apollo, the god of the sun, who sets off on the legendary winged horse Pegasus to rescue his lover, the goddess of the moon. The game takes names and little else from Greek mythology, in which Apollo, god of the sun, was actually Artemis' brother. The arcade version of this game was never released in the United States due to Artemis' bondage torture scenes, which were shown between each stage and were similar to those from the new version of Namco's own Rolling Thunder. While no nudity is shown, the scenes were still somewhat strong to be shown in an arcade game during the early 16-bit era. The game's score display also gives the illusion of allowing values which do not end in 0. During the game, you collect items that increases your speed and give you more firepower. At the end of each chapter, you have to destroy a boss in order to proceed to the next one. Between each chapter, you can watch an intermission that details what is happening at the temple. Getting killed will take you back to an earlier checkpoint. The primary difference between Phelios and Namco's other vertical shooters is that while there are ground-based enemies, there is no separate bomb button, so they can be destroyed with regular hits and attacks. Additional weapons include a rapid-fire beam, bouncing a crossfire, and homing attacks. The latter 2 work in conjunction with the standard weapon, rather than replacing it, so they continue to fire even when you're charging up the main attack, which is quite handy. Collecting the letters Phelios will grant you a titular weapon, which is exceedingly powerful charge attack, though it is only available in the last level. Unfortunately, you're only granted a limited amount of time to use these special weapons before they disappear. You can also gain options like glowing orbs that shadow your movement and fire, exactly like Grantus, However, the number of options also determines how much damage boss creators can take, often strengthening them beyond what their form would be like if you went to battle unequipped. The best gimmick is the prevalent using of scaling and rotation effects, thanks to the Namco System 2 hardware, which also powered Valkyrie and Assault to similar ends. Right at the beginning of the first stage, as soon as Apollo launches his assault, his dive bombs from a cliff down to the earth below, which twists and turns sporadically. At the end of this segment, Apollo raises into the sky to scale a cliff before diving back down to the surface, avoiding fire from a turret consisting of eyeball firing skulls before entering the shrine to face the first boss. Not only is this a remarkably impressive effect, but it gives Phelios a remarkably cinematic feel. Every time Apollo launches forward in another direction, a little text scroll narrates the action, and the music changes to suit the pacing. It's a rousing, dramatic score that brilliantly accompanies the gameplay. But the downside to this dramatic soundtrack is that it's not nearly as catchy as Dragon Spirit / Dragon Saber. After defeating a boss, Apollo flies over a pool which shows Artemis' current state of distress. It mostly amounts to her being bounded up in skimpy, torn clothing while begging for Apollo to hurry up and save her. Artemis also begs for your help at the continue countdown screen. While there are a few other shooters that share the ancient Greek setting, Konami's Nightmare being the most noteworthy. Phelios is easily the best looking of the lot, and the special effects elevate it above the level of many other of the era. So there you go, guys. There is Phelios, Greek myth-based game. It's a lot of fun. If you never checked this one out, you should go check it out now because it is a lot of fun. I think you'll really enjoy this one. I think Namco did a great job on this. The sound effect is awesome on this. The music is really good on it. So check this out, Phelios. You can check it out on MAME. You can check it out on KonopX. Many ways you can play this game. I recommend you check this out since I think you will have a lot of fun with it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button for me. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Turn that bell on. And I thank you in advance. Until the next video, I will see ya.